take you through my day, and we kind of walk through my thought process of what it's like to be furloughed, and at the same time, a mixture of hobby news or just a question of the day. So right now we're sticking with question of the day. I don't want to just be another hobby podcast. I want to kind of do a different take, but this is a very different time for me being furloughed. At the moment, it does feel like it is a staycation at the moment versus a furlough, but this is only day number 2. I am, of course, picking up a paycheck on Friday, so that's good. So it'll be a little bit different, I think, the week after and the week after that. So we'll see how that goes. But I think for the most part, I'm trying to keep my schedule the same as possible. Yesterday, as I was having my coffee, I, of course, watered my plants and picked up all the weeds in Animal Crossing. So if you are an Animal Crossing player, let's connect. Let's share friend codes. It's always better to make our individual worlds bigger. And if we need to sell turnips for a higher price, that is always a good connection to have. So please, if you are playing Animal Crossing, let me know and let's connect and have some fun with that game. But in the real world, I did have to make 2 trips to the post office yesterday. That was interesting. The first trip was about 11 in the morning, and the mailbox was completely full. And there were like 15 people in line to get inside, and no one was anywhere near 6 feet from each other. So I didn't think it was worth the risk to bypass that line to drop them off inside. So I had to go back a couple hours later. Hopefully today it is not as busy because it is a Tuesday. But in the real world of me and my actual garden, I think we got some deep weeding done yesterday, some areas that I probably wouldn't have touched on a normal Saturday, so that was fun. But the best news is I had planted some grass seed in the front in a small area as like a test, and in the back into a larger area. I would just kind of see which one would grow faster. The backyard has more shade than sun. The front yard has direct sun for most of the afternoon. And this morning, after 7 days, the grass seed in the front really came out of nowhere. So that's really, really good to see those sprouts. I'm hoping the backyard picks up here shortly, next couple of days, just because the sun quality is a little bit different. I'm also taking daily photos of other perennials that are growing back at the moment, and I'll have a video of each one as it grows from basically nothing to its entire growth for the year. So that'll be fun in the next couple of months to have those videos. But I'm reminding myself to take photos every single day so I can just have these recorded for the future. But when it comes to the hobby question of the day, I think the one that was asked that I think was sort of the most intriguing is in this time when it comes to the widening market value of cards on high end to low to mid tier, why is that? And so let's get to that question right now. Today's question of the day comes from Twitter, and it's at Ryan_Vea, I believe is how you say it. But the question is, I've noticed high-end cards, parentheses LeBron, Jordan, skyrocketing while mid to low stuff has been dropping. Is this COVID related, or is this where the hobby is going long term with high and mid tier widening? I think, number one, I don't think it's COVID related. I think that you can see other videos out there and people out there saying the sports card market is very strong. We have seen the recent resurgence of Jordan cards through ComC posts and just in general. But I don't know much about basketball, but also I'll relate this to baseball. And I think you can kind of relate this to your purchases also when you're buying into any potential group breaks. Always going to have the super high tier or the cream of the crop. And so in baseball, that is Bowman Chrome Autos, Bowman Chrome Refractors. That's the high end. We're also seeing, on the base card perspective, update rookies sort of being elevated to another level. But looking at it from the question that was posed last week on Twitter, sort of indirectly, is at Scotty Ballgame. He was asking about growth in a Julio Rodriguez Bowman's Best or Bowman Sterling card versus his Bowman Chrome. At the moment, his Bowman Chromes were about $500, and his Bowman's Best and his Bowman Sterling are about $80. So back to the original question about being COVID related or just the market, I think it's just where the market is at the moment. The speculators, or they like to call themselves investors, but they're purely speculating on these cards. Just doesn't sound as cool to be speculating versus investing, but that's a whole nother topic altogether. But from a speculation perspective, That's where the juice is. The juice is going to be in the super high end. It takes a lot to risk, and but the reward could be very big, but the risk is high. If you're looking for PC, if you're looking for a small time burn, or to limit your risk in a sense, Bowman's Best, Bowman Sterling, sort of the low to mid tier, is a good place to be. The problem though is that they're just not going to see the growth. If Julio Rodriguez in a couple of years comes up and explodes in Seattle, hopefully in Seattle, his Bowman Chrome are just going to go crazy. But that's going to leave a wide variety, a wide market who can't afford those, and they're going to go to Bowman's Best. They're going to go to Bowman Sterling. They're going to go to second-year cards, things like that. But the growth rate is not going to be there. The growth rate's going to be in the Bowman Chromes. So I think when you're buying your product, buying your breaks, buying your boxes, just keep that in mind. If you're paying near the price of a box for Bowman's Best that you are Bowman Chrome, I think that's just the wrong move because the value just isn't there. So I think look at the history of the brand more so than the player to see where the card potentially could go if you're looking to potentially flip this in the future. But I think we're going to continue to see the gap widen. But here's the great thing. There are so many more players in the mid to low tiers than there are in the high tier. There are so few people out there that can afford a $500 Rodriguez auto, but there are many more that can afford an $80 Rodriguez Best auto or a $100 Bowman's Best auto. Just don't buy those mid to low tier cards thinking they're going to jump overnight like they would if it's a Bowman Chrome auto. So just be cautious, but be optimistic of your purchases, but use history to tell you where to be at on these cards. Don't just hope overnight Bowman's Best is going to be the next greatest thing. It just, at the moment, it's not. It's always going to be Bowman Chrome. Thank you for the question of the day, Ryan, on episode number 2 of Furloughed. From here, I've got to brave the post office again. Hopefully it is better today, and I can just walk in, drop off the mailings in the post office box, and be on my merry way and get back outside and do some more gardening. I do also have a couple packages arriving today for the new consignment service, so looking forward to get those in, get them cataloged, get that process started. If you have not seen that video, please check that out. And as always, guys, I greatly appreciate any subscription to the channel or the pod now, and any likes, comments. With that, guys, have a great day and talk to you tomorrow.